Good morning from New York City and from Jamaica here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I feel like changing up a little bit. I can't afford that float plane yet, so I went ahead and I purchased a cheaper one. I purchased another Cessna because we had lost hours in Nepal some streams ago. And I feel like doing some banner missions. I'm also going to update the paint job of the Cessna in the stream, probably later in the stream. First we're going to try to see if it's still working, this Neofly banner missions, because I haven't tried it since the last sim update, and I'm hoping it's still working. You can make your own banner. Let's see if the banner that I had made is still there, and if it is working, we'll do some missions, and then we'll go back and after the missions we'll go and we'll update the paint job of the Cessna. Maybe we'll take another loan and just go ahead and buy a seaplane later as well, because I've been wanting one, and I have been confused about seaplanes in Neofly here, because someone in the Neofly forums told me that Neofly doesn't really differentiate whether it's a float plane, a plane that can land on water or not, for the Cessna and the X-Cub available here. We're gonna find out if that is the case. We're going to get either a Cessna Skyhawk or a X-Cub, and then try to load up the float plane in Microsoft Flight Simulator and fly that. That'll be later. First, some banner missions. Let's get started here. I'm going to right click on this one here, very close by, and I'll do a fly with friends mission. Start up the server here. If you want to drop by and join, you can go to 74.73.35.39 in Neofly to join me on this mission. But I'll likely, since I'm starting, not really starting early, but I'm getting going a little bit quicker than usual here, since it's one engine, not two. The BN2, we can get off a little bit earlier. Alright, okay, I think that's a connect and fly. Okay, the Microsoft Flight Simulator plane doesn't match your current Neofly plane. Oh dear. Alright. Doesn't have Neofly though. You want to change your current Neofly name plane from Bristol Norman? Oh, but I don't have the Islander. That's funny. Okay, let's end mission. I think maybe I had the Islander. Oh, here you go. I had the Islander selected. That's the problem. So let's try again. Right click, choose plane and crew to fly. I'm gonna go to hypertext. Let's try again. Fly with friends. All right. And let's make sure. Here you go. There you go. That's, I had to set the aircraft there. Now let's try it. And
hello.
Now.
Advertising mission today. Take off and then come back to hook the banner. The banner is located at the exact airport dot on the map.
Understood, Elena. Beautiful day for flying. We're gonna take off and then we're gonna turn back and swoop in low to pick up that banner. Okay. Right. Okay, everything is green light. Our payload is 170. We need 170. We're a bit over, so I'll reduce that, and then we just have to turn the engine on, and we'll be good to go. Let me switch over to this here. Let me turn that off. I'll leave the display capture activated over here, and let's get going. All right. All right. Yep. We don't need a flight plan, computer. Just need 170 pounds of pilot here. No front passenger, so the plane will probably veer a little bit to the left. Change the weight of the airplanes. It changes things up a little bit. Alright, let's see if I remember how to fly a Cessna 1... this is the fuel, I think. 152. Alright. I think the fuel's there. I think I just put on the magnetos. Let's go ahead and put on the landing and the taxi lights and the beacon lights and scope and all that stuff. Navigation. And that's pretty much it. Alright, clear prop out there, Charlie. Let's go. Magneto to both, and we're starting. Mixture forward. Alright. Oh, one thing I should do here, because we're not in the BN2 anymore. This plane is less loud than the BN2, so let's go ahead and put the engine down back to everything. That's better. Depending on what plane you're flying in this game, you have to just the sound level a bit. I'll put this stuff. Our face. Alright, so we're gonna take off, and there should be, if everything worked, a banner for us to pick up. Let's see where it is. Right here, I guess. Nope, I don't see it here. All right, let's see. Let's take off and see what happens. I think after you it's after you take off that the 3D world updates, and then a little truck, a little, I think, blue truck with a couple of traffic cones representing a little wire that you swoop down low and you hook onto it, and that's how they actually do it in reality. When you see those advertising banners flying around. Okay, let's go. Let's, I think, pretty much good to go here. We don't need the carb heat, I think. If I remember right, there's the parking brake, so let's release that. Give engine power. Taxi over. Hey, 0 to Hero Alec. Good morning. I'm doing good. How are you, man? I'm feeling a little, quite rested today, but a little bit discombobulated my brain, as it happens sometimes, but doing all right. I changed up back to the default Cessna 152 here. Gonna try some banner advertising missions. A break from the BN2 Islander, and in preparation also for me starting to fly float planes in this game. Let me get music down a little more. hear myself here. All right. Later, I'm gonna be playing some my IL-2 this afternoon, and after that, finally today, I will play Fallout. I know I've been promising it, but it's just taking me a while. Yesterday we did some Arma. I didn't stream that, but right before leaving for work, spilled whole coffee on myself. I have to laugh, okay, because I do that all the time, so I'm just happy that other people do it too. Basically, most of my shirts are stained with coffee, and I know that it's not funny when it happens to you. I hope that other than that, the day was all right. And if not, then I hope that today's what, Wednesday? Wednesday. I hope your Thursday is better than Wednesday. If wasn't perfect, at least it wasn't on your laptop or something. You know. All right, let's go. We're gonna take off. And then after a few of these flights, we're gonna stop flying a bit, and then we're gonna paint this airplane because I want to remove Cessna here. Cessna doesn't pay me any money to advertise for them. I'm flying their airplane. That's enough. That's enough of an advert, but I don't want Cessna in my face here, so I'm going to switch this to something else. We're gonna put some stickers there or something, right? Zero to Hero Alex says it is a few hours later. Negative emotions are gone. That's good. That is good. Well, have a music vibraphone cord to make you feel a little better. Here you go. Or maybe have a little synth. What is this synth? I have a few sound effects I'm experimenting with. Have a synthesizer voice happy. All right, Fisherman BR is out there. Okay, full power. Let's go. I haven't asked the tower. There's no tower in this airport, so I don't even bother talking to them if there's no tower. You know, I'm not gonna talk to empty empty airwaves. I probably should anyway, in case someone is monitoring and taking a look, see if someone around here. All those weird the airplanes standing on their two front wheels. That's another Microsoft Flight Simulator bug there.
Okay, now fly closely to the banner.
Oh, whoa! It's already hooked on. Jeez, it was right there and already hooked on.
You now have the banner hooked.
Oh my
On to
god,
the first waypoint.
that was crazy. So I took off and it was right there, so I didn't even have to loop down to hook on it. But okay, let's take a look at from the outside view of this banner here. This is a banner that I made that for this, especially for these missions. Stand by, I don't want to crash yet. You see, like, the airplane is veering to the left. That's because I removed the right pilot, so we're gonna veer to the left. Okay. Okay, back to drone view. And here is what I would like to happen eventually, people. There's a lot of experiments around the world happening right now of basic income for all human beings, and I hope that that it becomes a reality for everyone in the world. You know, whether you work or not, a monthly stipend, monthly salary that you can use for whatever you want, whether you work or not, just for technically, you know, for clothes, shelter, and maybe a couple of video games, maybe a gaming PC if you save up. That would be pretty nice. Jamaica vibes, yes please. For real. Here, I'll give you some more Jamaica-like vibes in 1 second. Let me just see where is this mission. Okay, it's up here. We're going the right direction. For more Jamaica vibes, let's do it like this. There you go. Alright, we'll leave it like there. I don't have Neopad enabled because I think there's a bug that Neopad makes the simulator stutter. So I'm just out tabbing out to Neofly, the main interface itself. I would love to go to Jamaica right now and go swimming or anywhere. It doesn't have to be Jamaica, but I've never been to Jamaica, so that would be nice. Maybe someday. Leave that there. A little later, we're gonna we're gonna try to paint this Cessna. The 152 is tricky because you can't really put different things on each wing. Because it's, I don't know why they did it like that, but Asobo Studios has it so that if you put like something on the top wing, like if you come and put like a heart here on the top wing, it'll automatically reflect it, put it on the other one as well. If I was to write something, you know, it would write it the other way around on the other side. So that's just the way the current Cessna, the default Cessna 152 is set. Microsoft Flight Simulator for the paint jobs. I'm looking forward to at some point in the future some update giving us easier way to edit these paint schemes, but at least for the love of all the gods, at least let us not have to restart the sim to see changes to the airplane skins again. It used to be like that. The last update broke that, so now we have to restart the sim to see changes on the paint jobs, and that's very time consuming. We're almost here. We're gonna hit this, and then our mission as a here, I guess maybe there's some swimmers there that we want to advertise to. So we're gonna go to about 040 after we hit this spot here. You can go around as many times as you want, back and forth. The more you do, the more money you make, but I'm just gonna do once and then we'll go back. It's too bad that I took off and already hooked onto it immediately because I wanted to swoop down and hook onto it, but it was right in front of me and it just did it by itself. We can try another mission afterwards to see if we can actually demonstrate the hooking onto the banner, the advertising banner. I see these when you go to the Rockaways in New York City, lots of these planes of ad banners. Right. This one will skip. I heard this song way too many times. Did I miss it? I think I missed it. Hey, Elias, we're in Jamaica, man. Doing some banner missions here. Uh-oh. Bonus lost, okay. Oh well, let's do this then. Hydrate, thank you, sir.
Okay, transporter. You've reached the first waypoint. Go to the second waypoint.
Copy that. Dispatch on the way to waypoint 2. Over. Awesome sauce. Waypoint 2 is about 040 from us. Set it up here. Oh, shit. I think I screwed something up. How do I reset that? Is it... No, B is barometer. D? I think it's D. Haven't flown this plane in a while. Okay, are we 040 now? Yeah, we're about 040 around there. Alright, not the most exciting banner mission because we're just over the sea here. I don't know why they wanted me to go fly up. Maybe there's some ships with some tourists down there they want us to show this banner to, but And later in the and by the way, Elias, I thank you for sending me that. You sent me an artist who's a music from Jamaica to use, but I decided not to use it because I just wasn't very clear to me, like if I needed to give a credit for him not to claim, you know, to. It was a little unclear whether I could use it also in the stream here and in YouTube and stuff like that, of just a credit or not. So I'm just sticking with Epidemic Sound for now. Yeah, this stuff here has to be fixed up. Hopefully all these weird graphical artifacts over water. We're just gonna go once around to this waypoint and back because yeah, we're just over the water here. Let's go fly really low if it's a little more interesting down there. The landing rate leaderboard, here, let me turn on SimToolkit Pro. I've updated to the latest version, but the landing rate leaderboard, I've decided instead of, since it's taken me way longer than I thought to get t-shirts and stickers and all this stuff set up, I decided to go ahead and give first, second, and third place prizes now. And it's going to be by season, every 4 months, every 3 months, because there's 12 months in the year. Every time the Earth goes around, we go through 4 seasons. I mean, some places it's more visible than others. But I decided to go ahead and give first, second, and third place prizes for summer 2021. Next will be fall. And in the future, when I do get stickers set up and everything, then I will send stickers to whoever participate and gets a winning guess. That will be coming, but it was just taking too long. And before I go to Italy to see my mom, I'm gonna be 3 weeks gone. I don't know if I'm gonna be streaming. I wanted to give out some prizes there, so congrats to first place Wild Craze, second place Shipa, and third place Iceberg for All. If they check when they check their emails, if and when, these days many people just don't check emails, but I know that those guys do. They will find a link to a prize over there. Lisa, glitched out, missed some of what you said, so no worries, man. No, I was just saying that the landing rate leaderboard, instead of I decided I'm gonna give prizes every 3 months, every season. And eventually I'm gonna send, if people want, I'm gonna send stickers. Eventually maybe t-shirts as well to whoever gets a winning guess. But since it's taking me longer than I expected to get that done, and it's not gonna really happen until I come back from Italy later in the year, I just decided to make it a seasonal thing, and I decided to give out the first 3 prizes for the first, second, and third place. People that spend a lot of time in the stream and, you know, have the winning guesses there, which kind of translates to spending a bunch of time in the stream here. Really kind people. I've picked the 3 top winners and they're there. I didn't pick them, they're just they won the most, you know. So Wild Craze, Shipa, and Iceberg for All, the first ever winners of the Hypertext Zero landing rate challenge. I use this thing called SimToolkit Pro for that. Okay, we're in a good heading here. This is 070. Thought I heard my name in the distance. Yeah, if you go to check your email, Wild Craze, well, congratulations, you're number 1. When I land, we'll give a shout out and an applause there. If you check your email, you should have a prize waiting for you for it to be accepted. I know that you said you not really interested at the moment in the video game that I'm giving out, but maybe eventually, you know. So I thought.
The second waypoint. You can fly back to the first waypoint again to earn more, or come back to the airport. Don't forget to release the banner with Control W before landing.
Roger that, dispatch. I'm going to head back to the airport because there doesn't seem to be anyone here to look at this advertising banner. So I'm just heading back to the airport, and I'll remember to release the banner of Control W. Over. All right. Well, when I said soon I didn't want to rule out the possibility, I have different priorities in 10, 15 years. Copy that. Well, it's there for you to try, Wildcraze. You got first place, so you got 3 different maps. Battle Stalingrad, bottom plot, which has, you know, the later planes. Kuban, which has some nice nice mountains, and comes with the A-20, which is a bomber, and then Ju-52 and the Spitfire Mark V, because both of those airplanes were flown by Norwegians in the Second World War. It was a Norwegian squadron. It was called 331 Squadron, I think. They flew, and I think you can fly a campaign with them in IO2, if I'm not mistaken. You're gonna have to tell me because I haven't double checked. Chipa got second place, so he's got like 3 maps too. And Icebird for all got third place. He got 2 maps. All right. And maybe I'll see you guys, I think in the afternoon stream today, I'm gonna do a sort of tutorial stream for IO2. We're gonna see what controls to map, how to take off, how to do a circuit, how to land. I think we're gonna do something like that. Because it's nice to, you know, go back to fundamentals. Sometimes if you play basketball, it's nice to practice dribbling, it's nice to practice, you know, defending, moving your legs back and forward. It's nice to you know, get in shape. It's nice to practice your jump shot and your free throws and your layups left with both left and right hands. So sometimes it's with airplanes, it's nice to practice the fundamentals. Morning, Mort. How are you? I'd feel bad if I accept and never use it though. Oh, you will never use it? Oh, you don't have to feel bad. What happens if you don't accept? They send me the money back, and I mean, I would, if you want to pick another game that you want, I'd be happy to make it that. There's no pressure. I don't like to pressure people into play a video game they are not going to enjoy, obviously. So, if you want to not accept and then choose a different video game, I'd be very happy to up to, let's say, $60. I'd be very happy to get it for you. Good. I hope the RPG game yesterday went well. We're advertising universal basic income to no one here. No one's listening. We have to go to New York City. We have to go to Beijing. We have to go to Moscow. We have to go to, you know, Stuttgart, Frankfurt, London. Have to go to some of the financial capitals of the world and fly these banner missions for universal basic income here. Nice. Glad it was a fun game. Man, these things are so annoying, these black lines here. I hope they fix that too in the coming update. A few bugs on a Sobel Studios bug tracker here. That's alright, there's time. Yeah, I mean, it's just a 3D object, you know. I would love it to make a super flappy one like you see it in real life. But it's basically just a solid 3D object. But so basically, if you turn the airplane, all right, like the whole thing turns immediately. It's like basically a solid 3D object. But you know, for at least it's there, so you can do the banner mission. Brave towing anything in a 152. Hey, in the Rockaways here in New York City, I see them all the time towing stuff. If you go to the beach, you get promotions for insurance, for alcoholic beverages for the beach. You know, cans of like a fizzy, like they call them fizz spritz. I forget what the heck they call them. I can even maybe I can put a video on the Discord or here on stream showing some of these. And some of the planes, I've seen these things be towed by those crop duster planes, the Ipanema, it's a Brazilian Embraer Ipanema. You can get it for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm probably going to get that one eventually as well. And that's an even smaller plane than the Cessna 152. I don't know if the engine is maybe more powerful. I've seen them, X-Cubs towing them, so it's pretty crazy. They must be fairly light, you know. Yeah, AG cats and stuff are powerful though, agile. Oh, those little airplanes. Yeah, there's one for Microsoft Flight Sim. I've been thinking about getting it. And I made a suggestion in the Neofly forum to have you know, agricultural pest missions where you have there's a locust plague or something, and you can go spray it with some horrible things. Poor locusts, but you know, poor humans as well. All right, the airport. Ian Fleming apparently called this airport here, where we took off from. No tower. I mean, strangely enough, there's no. It's not. Apparently not a controlled airport, according to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I find it a little hard to believe, but we don't have to ask for landing. We're just gonna fly back close to the ground. Press Control W to drop this banner, and then land. So it's true. There's no tower. There's no tower there. Interesting. Okay, so it's true. All right. So I guess it's not very busy, right? It's the only place of a tower in Jamaica, Elias. And Elias is from Jamaica, by the way, people. Is the only place of a tower in oh, there's another blank. Where it was Kingston, like the Kingston airport. Is there an airport there? This one here, Norman Manley International Airport. We're in Jamaica, people. A break from the BN2. I bought this. I still have $300,000 to pay off for all those BN2s that I bought, all those loans I took after all those crashes. We'll get there, but I do want to. I'll probably just take another loan and buy. Since you know Jimmy gets these loans without people coming after him to break his legs because he's a known guy, you know. Maybe we'll just keep getting more loans and we'll get a float plane. And also, mostly private jets land there. Okay, here in the Thomas Manley. And also the Donald Sangster Airport has a tower. Okay, Donald Sangster. Where's that one? Take a look and see. Is that southeast, southwest? I'll wait till Elias mentions it, or I'll look for it after. For now, we're gonna drop this banner off here. Northwest, all right. Maybe it's not here. Montego Bay, okay. Where's Montego Bay? Here? Oh, here you go. Oh, there you go. Alright, it's funny, there's not one of those little things. Here it is. So this one has a tower, okay. Sangster International, cool. Montego Bay, man. My dad spent time in Jamaica. He used to tell me stories. He lived in St. Lucia for a couple of years. He worked there. Mort says, Elias, today they have some kind of unicorn the pilots can peek to each other, or state interventions. I would hope so, Mort. Oh, Unicom, not unicorn. Is that right? Elias says, I would hope so. Yeah. Alright, we're first gonna fly low. I'm gonna drop off our banner. It's just gonna disappear off the airplane, you know, it doesn't flutter down. That's not modeled in this community created Cessna Bagolu banner tour. Oh. Okay, banner's gone. Back in the Cessna. A little more agile than the BN2. The BN2 is pretty agile. BN2 is like a Cessna of two engines, pretty much. But of course, a single engine plane is always going to be more agile than, or almost always going to be more agile than multi-engine airplane. Hey, Icebird! Oh, congrats! Yeah, I gifted you. You got third place. That's your third place prize. I gifted you. I2 Battle of Stalingrad, which is the base game, and then I also gift you the bottle of bottom plate so you can fly some of those late war planes too. Alright. Second place was Shipa. He got 3. He got Cuban, Stalingrad, and bottom plate. In first place is Wild Craze, but he doesn't think he's gonna play that, so if he decides to decline the gift and he chooses a different game, I'll give him the game of his choice up to 60 bucks. Alright? I'm nearly fallen from my bike now. Oh, it's a pleasure, Icebird. You've spent so much time here on the stream. This is the very least I can do, you know, and it's taken me longer than I thought for those t-shirts and stuff, so I just wanted to hand out prize, and it's gonna be a seasonal now. Every 3 months I'm gonna hand out prize for the landing rate leaderboards. And this right here is the first, will be the first. Yeah, I'll go around one more time to give you all a chance if you want to get in here. This will be the first fall. I'm considering summer over for the sake of having that done, so I don't have to be thinking about it, because it's been in the back of my mind. I keep saying there'll be prizes, you know, I don't give prizes, so I wanted to give prize the top ones. There will be everyone who gets a landing rate guess right will eventually receive like a sticker or something if they want, you know. They'll have to give me an address to send it to, or a PO box or something. But it's just taking me longer than I thought to get all those stickers and t-shirts and stuff set up. So for now, I'm just giving prizes every 3 months to the top 3 in the leaderboard, and the first ones have been given earlier today, late last night. Wild Craze, Sheepa, and Icebird for all. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Thank you for the guess. I'm gonna go around one more time in the circuit here. It's an uncontrolled airfield. Lies has some business jets land here, and you know, the executives, they want to be like James Bond, so they come to Ian Fleming Airport here in Jamaica and try to, you know, throw their money around. And the only reason I'm throwing some money around here is because I'm very lucky, you know, because of people in the chat, because of Kerr. I have a job coming up, part-time job, but you know, it's better than, it's a good job. And it's where I used to work for, so it's pretty comfortable. I don't have to learn a bunch of new things. Well, I'll have to learn some new things, but I don't have to, you know, get to know a bunch of new people, which is fine, but it's always comfortable to go back to somewhere where you enjoyed working, and so I won't be struggling. I won't be struggling to make ends meet, pay the bills after September. So I thought I would give back a little bit here to the stream, to the people that have been spending so much time with these past months. And Elias, yourself, eventually, I promise, and this is a promise I will, because you have winning guesses there in the landing rate leaderboard, you will receive something sent to Jamaica, or a video game. We'll see how I'm feeling, you know. Definitely get something though. Okay, here we go. Coming in for the landing. Flaps down. Full. Thank you for the prediction, Wild Craze. Thank you for prediction, Icebird. Thank you for your prediction, Mort. Coming in -57, -77.77 for Icebird. Wild Craze -47. And here we come. Feels good to fly the Cessna again. I'm looking forward to flying a float plane. Gonna have to find out if we can just buy a regular C172 or a X Cub and then pick a float and it'll work here. That's what someone in Neofly forums told me.
Transported from dispatch. Nice
Hey,
landing. Go to
where
the
is
parking
it?
and put your parking brake on. I'll be in touch.
It didn't give me a... Did it give you guys a... Do you guys see a...
Good job. I hope this will bring more customers back to Neofly.
What the heck? I think Neofly will have recorders. We'll look at Neofly. We'll look at Neofly. Oh, recorded tracks out there. Piper's out there. Hey, Piper. Have an idea. Send you a message during lunch. Copy that, Wild Craze. All right, so feel free to just decline. I guess they'll just return them, and then, or whatever idea you have, and then send me a message. I'll be very happy to entertain your idea. Okay, so I just updated today SimToolkit Pro. Maybe that update kind of broke the landing rate bot, but let's do it like this then. Okay, I'm gonna turn the engine off here. It turned the engine off. And we'll leave the outside view so you can see a recorded track, aka Piper here flying around. Wow, awesome. I think that's the Kingfisher or whatever it's called, right? I'll leave it here. All right, what we can do, it's Gone with the Wind, yeah. But here we go. Does it give me a landing rate here? It must log it somewhere, right? Bonus landing, bonus handling. Because it used to give it to you on Neofly, it used to appear on the, and it hasn't been happening. I don't know if it's a bug of what's going on here, but let's see, log maybe. They give me a landing rate here. I don't think it will give it here. Does anyone know where, if and where? Let's go look at Sim Toolkit Pro. Oh, I think I forgot to do connect to sim. That's what happened, I think. My mistake. Let's do another mission. I apologize for that, for you guys, the predictions, but hope they'll forgive me. We'll do the next mission. Hopefully it'll be working now. So now we're to connect. Let me disconnect again. Let me connect to sim. All right. Okay, so now it should be working. It's Gone with the Wind further down of the flight. Whoa, and here comes Piper again. Okay, let's do another mission here. Let's do one more banner mission. Let's do one to the west here. Or to the southeast, maybe. Right click here. I'll click on this. Click on this mission and... okay, already guessed. Come on, computer. Try this one? Okay, not to try that one. Doesn't want to let me click on that one. I'm not happy with that one, so let's... here, we can do filter by banner mission here and see like this as well. Not that one. There you go. No. It gives you a heading as well. There you go, this one. There you go, okay. Right click, fly with friends. I'm gonna make sure that I have the my Cessna, not the to pull that banner, not the Islander. Connect.
Hello. Advertising mission today. Take off and then come back to hook the banner. The banner is located at the exact airport dot on the map.
Copy that, dispatch. Will be taking off shortly. Iceberg says you can also find the rate in the database under trajectory data. Okay, should I go take a look at that? Let's. I don't know if I have my SQL database browser here. I could just stop Neofly and open it up, but let's just do this. Let's just do one more. I'll apologize for that one. Okay. Yeah. You must not edit the database. No, I'm not editing the database. Alright. Let's take off again. I'll turn the master on. So Charlie, clear prop. I left the lights on. The fuel gauge should be already... the fuel valve should be unlocked. No tower in this airport. Parking brake off. Whoa. Put those flaps up. Oh, here he is. Here he is, a Piper. Dropping in to visit us. Stand by. Whoa, my brakes are not working. What's going on? Did I press the wrong button here? Oh, now they are. Maybe the brakes don't have as much authority as the BN2. Number 2. I guess there's some new liveries out there for these airplanes. Never seen that one before. Radio distortion effect is so neat. Oh, when I talk to dispatch. Yeah, I have that connected. This is called that's basically a little yeah, get out of the way, little thing. That's basically this thing called a VST plugins, Victor Sierra Tango plugins. It's like JavaScript. They're written in JavaScript. Who's calling now? Wow, I thought it took. All right. Stand by. I'm gonna just talk to my mom live on stream here. Opa, tô streaming, tudo bem? Pode ligar daqui a pouco? Ah, que bom, que bom. Manda beijo pra Marisa, então. Tá? Beijo, mãe. Tchau. Tchau. Alright, that's my mom. I have the phone. If my mom calls, I have the config. The call will come in. Okay, so spam won't come in. Yeah, so basically there's this thing called VST plugins, which is basically like a music... it's a plugin to... It's like a piece of code that processes sound. And there's these free ones that you can put as a plugin in OBS, Open Broadcaster Studio software, that I use to stream this stuff to you. And there's this one that has some radio static in it, and I configured my mouse, so when I press this button, then it goes like, here I'm talking normally, and then I press the button, and then there's a bit of radio static, and so when I talk to dispatch and stuff, I speak of a little bit of radio static. It's kind of silly, but I love it. I don't know. While Chris says Xbox update has 1 or 2 new libraries for each default aircraft. Oh, okay, so that may be one of those. Alright, we're gonna observe a Piper here taking off. I'm gonna try to take off and get out of the runway as soon as possible, because I don't want to hook onto the banner as soon as I take off. I want to actually show you the process of hooking onto the banner. Okay. Beach King Air, okay. Nice, I thought it was called a Kingfisher or something, but I guess it's the Beechcraft King Air, the king of the airwaves here, of the air currents over Jamaica currently. There he goes, we'll wait till he's off. Alright, so I'm gonna take off, I'm gonna veer off the runway because I don't want to hook on the banner. They're gonna put it right on the runway, I think, so I don't want to hook onto it immediately. I want to show you where it is, the process of hooking onto it. Okay. Alright, full power. Flaps up. I don't need flaps for the takeoff. I think maybe let's put him a little bit down. I'm gonna stay a little bit on the left side of the runway because I don't want to hook onto that banner. Okay. Alright, let's go, let's veer off.
Now fly close over the banner to hook.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so there you go. When you take off, you see now there's the thing that we're gonna hook. This is a Neofly object. They actually put that there for us to see. There's a little blue van with the Neofly logo. And there's a couple of basically traffic cones with the cable there. And if this was a, you know, the plane would have a little hook here on the side right here, and you fly low, and this is how they do it in IRL, in real life. I saw some videos, I couldn't believe it. I was like, but it makes sense, you know. You're not going to take off with a banner attached because if it'll create a lot of drag. So you just have to take off, then swoop in low as if you're like an F-18 or F-14 Tomcat coming in to land on an aircraft carrier, but instead of hooking and stopping, you hook and then you put full power and you point the nose up and you go. Alright, let's try to hook on. You have to fly low, which is the exciting part. Stand by. Oh, there it is. A little bit to the right. Hey! I think we got it.
Nice one. You now have the banner hooked. Fly to the first waypoint.
Copy that, dispatch, on the way to waypoint 1. Alright. And if I move away from the airport, there we are, there's our banner. Right, I customized it because I want to know universal basic income for everyone. That would make the planet a better place. I think it's going to be necessary to avoid, you know, wars and... Whoa! And there goes Piper with some flybys here. with this Kingfisher, the King Air. I have Kingfisher in my head, I don't know, because I'm flying over Jamaica. I'm getting hungry from some nice fish. I want to eat some lovely seafood, and look at the water there. Thought they might just throw it out of the window after takeoff. With the medics, I want to paint a big jet on my banner. You can paint whatever you want on your banner. I can show you. We'll see how to do that after this landing. Okay, we're gonna take a break from the flight and we're gonna go and see how to get this working, because someone actually wrote me in my YouTube channel. I had done a flight with this and I put on the YouTube later, and then someone came and was like, I can't get it to work, but eventually they managed to get it to work. But I'll show you how, because it's a little confusing, because you have to download a particular model of the Cessna, because what they do is the banner is part of the 3D model of the airplane. So you have to actually download this custom Cessna 152 from the Neofly website in order to get it to work, and then there's a file there called banner that you can edit. But I also, it's been a while since I updated this paint job. I think like the prop covering there is gray. I want to paint that a different color, and I want to put the thanks to the subscribers and the cheers and all that on the airplane. So we're gonna. And I also want to remove Cessna, because Cessna's not paying any money here to advertise to them. And I do that of everything. I do that of my cameras, of my clothes and stuff. I don't like logos on. I don't want to do free advertising for a company, so I just remove or tape over logos, and we're gonna do the same with the Cessna here. I mean, nothing against the company, you know, they make some nice airplanes. But why should I advertise for them for free? I'm already flying the airplane. That's advertising enough. I don't want to keep reading it every time I get into the airplane here. I'll remember that I'm in a Cessna, not a BN2 Islander. I did get the Neofly 152 at some point. Cool. Yeah, I think they call it like the Bagolu banner tow 152. But the thing that confused me is that in Microsoft Flight Simulator, in the aircraft selection screen, you can't select Cessna 152, the default one. You have to actually find the Bagolu banner tower 152 there. Zox Psycho Zox tryout route from LSMA to LSGS. Where is that? And thanks for the follow, Zox Psycho Zox. Should I just call you Psycho or Zox? Switzerland. I'll try that eventually, but I'm gonna wait for the next update to go to fly in Switzerland, because in Switzerland, the next update we're gonna have you know, all this lovely new points of interest and stuff. So I will get there. We're gonna do flights there eventually. That sounds cool. Is it like a lot of in the Alps, a lot of tall mountains? But I'm gonna wait till after September 7th to go fly up there. And here, like in the Islander, you can move this, which is cool. In the default Cessna, I don't think you can move the visor here. Isn't like one of the big aircraft makers working on another 152, like a study level 152? Maybe Just Flight or something. Stretch, thank you, Elias. Let me pause track IR here. I'm sitting down today. I'm feeling a little lazy this morning, so I'm not standing up. I played Arma last night. I didn't stream that one. It was a fun one. My team got basically stranded in this island. I got my game crashed, so I started in the HQ where was not in the island, but they had taken the helicopter. So to get to the island, I had to steal a helicopter from a seaport by myself with loads of AI there, you know. So I threw like 10 smoke grenades, so they saw all this purple haze up here. They didn't know what the heck was happening, and then I got in the chopper and I took off. I wish I was streaming. It's always like that. When I'm not streaming, crazy stuff happens. It's kind of like when you go outside without a camera, then crazy stuff happens. That's why I generally carry a camera with me, so that I avoid crazy stuff happening. That's this route. You fly over the Alps and land in the Alps. That's awesome, Psycho. I promise I will do Alps flying eventually with Neofly missions. And you know what? I want to fly over the Alps. I have a Blériot number 11, that old plane from the late 1910s, you know. And there was this, I think, a Mexican flyer or Peruvian guy. He did a flight over the Alps. I think he died, but he attempted, or he was the first successful one. Maybe he died in the landing, I don't remember. Very tricky, you know, fly like a flying bicycle with like some sails attached over the Alps. Zero to Hero Alex says, I don't like branded clothes for the same reason. I paid for this. I'm not free ad. Exactly, yeah. So why should I be, you know, advertising for free? I want I'm gonna show you how to change this Cessna to something else, people, afterwards. I'm gonna find out how to do it, and then we're gonna find out together. Eliasberg Stretch, Hyper, and he do. Yep, and he also did Hydrate, so here you go. I think I'm off course here. Yeah, I'm way off course. Alright, let's go back, because I'm talking a lot, but that's fine. We have plenty of fuel. Where's the fuel in the Cessna again? It's down here somewhere, I think. Oh, that's oil. There you go, fuel quantity. Yeah, we have like half a tank. Sometimes when I go grocery shopping and bring bags from a different franchise, there you go. That's my spirit too. I'm, you know, I studied advertising in university, but then I did some parts, some work in ad agencies, and I did it early on, and I decided that I still do freelance work once in a while for them, but I just decided I didn't want to be in the business because it's so stressful. And I'm not very good at selling things I don't believe in. So if they came to me and asked me to, I don't know, back in the day, you know, sell cigarettes or something, I wouldn't want to do that.
Okay, transporter, you've reached the first waypoint. Go to the second waypoint.
I pay a dime for a new one with ads. Yep, exactly. I have like bags that are okay. The second waypoint is there. Copy that. Dispatch Hypertext Hero 1 proceeding to the second waypoint that I believe is right by the airport. Over. Totally wrong place for banner tow. Nobody here to see it. Only some icebergs and monkeys out here. Yeah, I don't know if what this kind of. I mean, I would think they would make me fly by a beach, but you know, maybe it's a commentary on the world, on a lot of people's opinion and appetite for universal basic income. But well, who knows? Maybe there's some tourists out there. Maybe there's like they moved the World Economic Forum from Davos to Jamaica to like some resort here in Jamaica, and maybe that's what's going on there, and that's why we're doing this. Or maybe there's like some billionaires down there holidaying in Jamaica, and that's why we have our basic income flight over here. Some deer will see it too. Deer, now I'm hungry. Applause. I'm hungry too, man. Plane keeps veering to the left because we only have one pilot in there, and I'm sitting on the left seat, so that gives more weight to the left, you know. Oh dear, dear. Oh dear. Oh dear, but oh my dear Lord. Lots of animals seeing, like, I don't know what the heck that is, but yeah, I'm glad it's not down here cutting trees. I saw an uplifting article the other day in, of all places, the Wall Street Journal. It's about how finally it's becoming cost-effective to pay people not to cut down trees. I can put the link later. There's a paywall, but there's ways around it. But yeah, there's places in the world now that you can people make a living by being paid not to cut down trees, and I think that's what we need to do. We have to pay people near the Amazon and other places not to cut down trees, because that'll be benefit everyone, like carbon footprint, carbon economy, that sort of stuff. I had deer breed really fast. Like there's this, I met this vegetable farmer in Pennsylvania when we went camping a couple of months ago. Friend of Amber's dad, and he said that you know, people said, "Oh, why are you shooting the deer, you know, and on your property?" And he's like, "Look, I'm a vegetable farmer. I have to shoot deer because they breed, they multiply so much and they eat all the vegetables. You know, they're coming in, they're killing all the vegetables. But now they installed this like electric, it's like a little wired electric fence so the deer stay out, so it doesn't have to." But there was like 40, 50 deer, you know, and they multiply rapidly. So I don't have the stomach to shoot them. You know, I'm a wuss born in the late 1970s, but I like the taste of meat, and I understand why human beings. I don't like the industrial meat production. I think we should put an end to that and move to a primarily vegetarian diet. But I understand, you know, where it comes from. Dear Lord has the most points on antlers. Grows lots of trees. I agree. Tie up carbon. Yep. That a lot of food. I think I could enjoy 50 deer meals. I love barbecues, man. I grew up in the south of Brazil. You know, I smell meat being barbecued and I start salivating. You know? Yeah, the guy shot 50 deer in 2 nights. 2 nights. You know, and I met him like for a few hours, but he sounded, you know, very upset. He gave us a tour of the farm. Very nice gentleman, nice family. I don't think he would have a reason to lie about that. Beautiful farm, gorgeous vegetable farm. Got some honey from there as well. I'm not using Neopad because I think it's causing some stutters after this last sim update. So I'm just like out tabbing here to find where our waypoint is. You're just north of that town there. I'd want something else after 10 to 15. Yeah, variety is nice. Keep an eye on the speed. It's all right. Another species of deer. Vegetables are good. I like these days if I don't spend too long without eating vegetables, and Amber's not here right now, so I'm spending a little longer. But yesterday I had a salad, and it felt really good to eat a salad after a long time. I ate a lot of pasta al pesto. When I'm by myself at home, I survive on on eating the same. I'm too lazy to cook different things all the time, so I eat the same thing over and over. Like I ate pesto for quite a few meals. Then I cooked some rice with some ground lamb from the farmer's market here. It was really nice. But then yesterday I had a salad. Fruit every day is always good. You're lucky enough to have access to this stuff, you know. The health and care and health and investment as well. Come on, dispatch. I just flew over the icon here. Maybe it wasn't close enough. Greek Mosusaka, yeah. Zero to Hero Alec, isn't carbon emission a substitute subject? Plants literally breathe it. Yeah, so that's why it's good to plant. It's good to plant trees and stuff because the plants take the carbon away from the air and put them in their trunks and their branches, right? From my understanding. Do you have to go right on the waypoint? Something? Okay, oh, waypoint 1 reached? No. Okay, I haven't got... It's bugging out. It's not letting me go to waypoint 2. Maybe it was somewhere else. Oh, it's over there. I'm sorry. This is the wrong waypoint. Alright. Let's go. Funny, after, when you get a little far away, the letters get all weird. I don't know why. It's the waste pollutants. Oh yeah, that too. I mean, it's a lot of things at once, you know. It's not just one thing. It's pollutants, it's topsoil, plastic in the oceans, a huge one, acidification of the oceans, economics, you know, people not having money to live, so having to cut down trees and do other stuff in order to make money. Oh, there's a screenshot. So, you know, it's not black and white. It's a lot of different issues, and hopefully will come off a lot of talented young people out there. Especially will come out of a lot of creative, elegant solutions. I hope there's more intelligent, kind people than psychos. I'm sure there are, you know. There's a psycho here and there every 20 people or so, but no, I'm not talking about the psycho that just came on the name psycho here on the chat, but you know, there's psychopaths out there too. If they get empowered, that's the big problem. But generally, we keep them away from power, and the kind, hearted, intelligent people will hopefully get us out of what the situation the planet is in. It looks good. I reckon it tastes like it looks. Generally, yeah, I would agree with that. If it looks good, if it's multicolored, you have like some red in there, yellow, green, it'll be a very healthy meal. The brown of the meat as well. And Walker says, ones I have is a bit like lasagna, but cream potato instead of pasta. I refuse to take blame. One of my straws got stuck in a turtle's nose. Managed to get a big bag of them before the ban. you like the straws? Here in New York now they have paper straws, which I think are better, you know, cardboard straws, and you can even buy metal ones. Better than the plastic, I think. I mean, I don't really care for straws. I don't mind just drinking out of the cup. But some drinks, you know, it's nice to use the straw to mix it and stuff. No straw tech that compares to plastic ones. Yeah, I just don't like plastic. I find see it all over the place, you know. I get tired of looking at it, so I don't use it. But I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna bust your balls for using it. I know once in a while I need plastic bags. Like there's a plastic bag ban now in New York, so you can still find them someplace, but for the trash now we have to like we buy them, and it's fair enough, you know. You have to pay. There are also ones in glass. Those would worry me because I'd be afraid that if I'm stoned or something and I'm taking a bite, I automatically by mistake take a bite out of the glass. Ooh, that would be a little bit screenshot. That'd be a little bit nerve-wracking. I also want Asobo Studios to fix that bug, that horizon line showing through the mountains. That would be nice. Let's request 5 flight following. I want some radio talk up here. Manly approach.
Manly approach, hypertext Hero 1 is type 6 miles east of Mike Kilo Bravo Sierra 1,500 feet. Request flight following. Hypertext Hero 1 Manly approach. Squawk 5667.
5667.
Hypertext Hero 1 radar contact 7 miles east of Mike Kilo Bravo Sierra 1,400 feet. Altimeter 29.87.
Acknowledge that.
Roger, hypertext Hero 1.
Now on the radar contact of Manly Center. Interesting, you type. You are type. What did it say? You are type what? Type is type. Yeah, missing. Maybe in the aircraft configuration there of this Bagaloo, they left it blank. We'll go check that out after this. We're gonna land. We're gonna try to repaint this aircraft and try to get rid of the Cessna logo here. Put our own a little sticker of some sort. Then we'll look at this type. We're just a type, you know. Hey, some type of flying contraption out there. Has a couple of wings. Has one engine for the thrust. Has the wings for the lift. And has a pilot inside. It's not a drone. And it's pulling this weird banner. Well, the radar contact probably wouldn't see that because it'll bounce off metal. It's not going to bounce off cloth, I don't think. Something in the distance there. Wait for the drag. Yep, we got the wait for the drag. The engine for the thrust that goes forward. And then you get to wait for the drag and the gravity acting on that weight and your mass. And the wind also, the drag. But that's the prop pulling into the wind. I guess we could start, getting pedantic here. And you have the wings for the lift, and what's the other one? There's one more force, I think. Thrust, lift, drag, or is that it? Are those the three forces acting? Wasn't there one more? I must run away. Awesome. Brunch sounds good, man. I'm getting hungry. Thanks, Elias. Thanks for dropping by, man. Hope you're having a good day in Jamaica IRL. 4 forces. All right. Thrust, lift, drag, and gravity, right? Yeah. Here, let's pull it up. Let's put it up here on the screen. Forces acting on an aeroplane. Here's the NASA. Is the first thing, and at least in oh, we're just passing the waypoint. Let's not miss it.
Okay, you reached the second waypoint. You can fly back to the first waypoint again to earn more, or come back to the airport. Don't forget to release the banner with Control W before landing.
Roger that. Dispatch Hypertext Hero 1 en route back to the airfield. Solid copy. Remember to release banner control whiskey. Over. Yeah, here you go. So you got I forget this stuff all the time too. That's why I talk about it's good to like get fundamentals to look back at fundamentals. We're gonna in the afternoon stream we're going to be doing IL-2 Sturmovik takeoffs and landings. I'm gonna point you to some resources for learning to fly and map controls and stuff on IL-2 since and by the way, the IL-2 Sturmovik sale has been extended to the end of August, I think, for another week or so. So maybe we're doing some more giveaways here to try to get everyone flying. Maybe we're gonna create the Hypertext Hero Flying Circus aerodrome in IL-2, not just shoot at each other, but just do some flights, you know. Obviously, we won't be able to go as many places as Microsoft Flight Simulator, but we'll use what's there. There you go, thrust. That like stuff comes out of those engines. In our case, this propeller here is biting the air and throwing it back, and that's making the airplane go forward, okay? And then that's the thrust, and then the lift is we have these lovely little wing here on the Cessna 152. I'll move it a little bit away so we don't get deafened by the Lycoming engine there. The shape of that wing there. Let me make sure I'm level here. Relatively level. So the shape of this little wing over here. It permits our airplane to fly. That sort of almost like a teardrop shape right there. Let me so the air, two different I learned, I mean, I've known this before, but the other day CDL was talking about this, and it's good to remember this. No one knows for sure how an airplane flies. Why? There's two competing theories. One is Newton's theory of, you know, one of Newton's theories of motion, that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So the air is going really fast up here over the wing, and since the air is going, the air is pushing that, the air is pushing against that wing when especially if you move the point it up a bit, the air will be hitting the bottom of the wing, and then or the top of the wing, and then there's another force that's equal and opposite from that will be pushing the plane up due to how the wing is shaped. That's one theory. And the second theory is the Bernoulli effect, which is air is going faster here over the wing, and it's longer for it to travel because the top of the wing there's a longer there's that curve there, so it takes longer for air to travel that distance than in the bottom, and so consequently air will be traveling faster in the bottom and the plane will go up. It's not a very good not a very poetic description, but those are the two competing theories. Yeah, but one is Newton. There's two, Iceberg. One theory is the Bernoulli and the other one is Newton, and no one knows for sure which one is what caused the airplane to fly. It's probably, in reality, I think it's a combination of two, and it has not been experimentally proven which one of those two competing theories explain flight of an airplane. Palm radio and navigation. Yeah, there's the force of peanut lethality on hyperallergics. Yeah, I'm allergic to, I used to be allergic to bee stings, but the other day I got stung on the foot and I was fine, so maybe I'm not anymore, but I'm thankfully not allergic to nuts, but I know there's quite a few people out there. Oh, Magnus. Which Magnus? And the earth is flat. No. I'll show you, okay? I'll show you later if you want to read about it. If you type in Google, how does a plane fly, you'll find descriptions that both Bernoulli and Newton's. But I think that, you know, human beings, we have two sides of our brain, so we want a black and white answer for everything. And I think often the case is that it's a combination of things. It's probably a combination of both Newton's theory of motions and the Bernoulli principle. All right, I personally like the Bernoulli principle as an explanation better myself. But if you look at the literature, there are no one can they can make an airplane, engineers can make an airplane fly, but they don't have a mathematical proof of that proves that this is why, exactly why. And that's one of the things I like about flight, is is still a mystery, you know. Yin and yang, yeah, there you go. Planes like magnets, how do they work? Yeah, I put my hands on my head for that as well. All right, here we come. Should we try the landing rate again? Do you guys want to help me test this, see if it's working now? I'm gonna, actually, whenever you want, I have to drop the banner off. I forgot, I still have a banner attached to this airplane. All right. Zoom out a little bit here. Thank you for the prediction, Walk Craze. Who says, when I was younger, I was wondering if magnets wear out when they're attached to things. I had some weird thought. What did I wonder when I was younger? Something similar to that. I'm forgetting what it is now. Man. Yeah, my brain is really becoming more and more discombobulated as time goes on. It's always sad we already have predicted. Also, I'm gonna have to restart, really? Okay, let me restart it then. I apologize for that, Wild Craze. Let's try to restart. Let me just I'll drop the banner and then we'll restart. I'm just gonna drop it. I'm gonna swoop down here and drop our banner. Oh, it disappeared. Let's turn right. That was my first guess is fine. Copy that. Alright, let me restart Sim Toolkit Pro. Stand by. Disconnect. Close. I'm flying pretty low here, so this makes me nervous to do that while I'm flying, but we'll just give it a shot. Start it again. We're just gonna have to erase the other ones. I'm sorry about those. It hasn't started yet. Stand by. Continue with local account. Connect to Sim. Because I updated Sim Toolkit Pro and it didn't, let me see. I didn't see the bot come on. Nope. Let's try one more time. Disconnect. Close. And let me take a look at, here. Maybe it's running there somewhere. Alright, last time. If it doesn't work, then we'll just have to not have landing re-guesses now. I updated it today. Maybe it's having getting a little confused. There you go. Sim Toolkit Pro bot has joined. But before you predict, stand by, continue with local account, connect to Sim, connect to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay, now everything that I should have done, I've done. But now, hopefully it'll work. Let's see. If you're just joining the stream, this is what we're talking about here, people. Alright, coming in for landing. Where are we? We're at, okay. 5 Kilo Bravo Sierra Phantom Tower because you don't exist. Hypertext 01 coming in for landing on final approach. Flaps down. Landing configuration. Trim nose down. Let's see if it works. Let's see if the landing rate bot from Sim Toolkit Pro woke up after Hyper here woke up too. What time is it? 11:18. Just missed that tree. Right from this view.
Transported from dispatch.
Hey, and it worked. And Wild Craze gets it. The winner.
Good job. I hope this will bring more customers back to Neofly.
I hope this will bring more customers to Neofly, she said. Alright. Alright, Wild Craze, well. We got the first win of the fall. We're still in summer here in the Northern Hemisphere. I was thinking about calling it, you know, by the months, but then I start getting confused. I'm just putting Hypertext Zero HQ is currently in the Northern Hemisphere, so we're just gonna go by that for now. Fall in the Northern Hemisphere. Park by this pretty little airplane right here. Doesn't it takes a little while to. The brakes are not as strong as the BN2. Interesting. Lights off. All right, and that's that. A couple of successful banner missions. Right when the song is finishing there, I will update the landing rate leaderboard. I'll just put a note here, but a little later. Wild Craze. Want me to change music, let me know. I'm gonna get out of here and let's try to paint this thing. the reason I know now how to do how to paint the float planes, but the reason I'm waiting is because to do a stream about that is because the last sim update, Microsoft Flight Simulator, you need to restart it to see changes, and that's really annoying. It's very time consuming, so I'm hoping that in the next sim update they'll have changed that so you don't have to restart every time again for it to update. You can change to another airplane and back. So it's probably only gonna be in like October because I'm gonna be gone in September. No streaming of, maybe some streaming, but not on Microsoft Flight Simulator because I'm not taking my computer that can run it with me to Italy, and I'm gonna be busy with my mom there. So I'm not organizing a meetup this time because it's gonna be a busy trip for me. So I don't want to commit to something that I won't be able to do, potentially not be able to do. All right, let's quit Neofly. And let's go take a look at the process of editing that banner. I've talked about this before, but I want to update that little airplane skin. I'm using this thing called to turn on and off add-ons. I'm using this thing called Microsoft Flight Simulator add-ons linker. So the good thing about this is instead of having to move these physical files from these big, often large physical files from your community folder to your Microsoft Flight Sim when you have updates, which is what you should do when you're updating, just have a clean community folder. Having to move these big files, what this program does is it creates shortcuts there. You know, in Windows or Unix, when you create a symbolic link or a shortcut to something, like you put a little icon, not the actual file, but it's a little link that links to the file. So it's really easy to just move that tiny little link out of there instead of having to move these big files physically around your hard drive. So what all this does is you choose another folder where you keep all your add-ons, and I just made one called MSFS add-ons, and you keep everything there instead of in community folder. And then this MSF add-ons linker, it lets you pick and choose just by clicking on stuff what you want to load up. If you have 2 million add-ons, this is very helpful. You just make folders, you know. So I have a folder called MSF add-ons, and I categorize it by aircraft, etc. Or I keep stuff like Neofly, and specifically the specific Neofly banner thing that for Neofly, and scenery. So you can organize it, and then you come to Microsoft Flight Simulator add-ons, and you turn things on and off. And really all it does is create you don't even have to keep it running, you can turn it off. So, and all it does is in the community folder, it makes the links to where it actually is. Walker says, I was skeptical at first, but now I really like it. Yeah, same here. I'm always skeptical of any third-party utility until I try it and see that it's good. You know? Let me change the music. Well, we'll leave this song to play, and then we'll disable stuff that cease functioning. Yeah, sure. All right, so basically get this banner working. This is what you do, okay? You go to Neofly. I am gonna change this music. Go here. Good. Exciting. So here in Neofly, you go to download, and here you go, download the Cessna 152 for the advertising. And unzip it into the community folder. You'll have the 152 banner and the ground banner object. You need to hook it. I'll put the link here. Try these missions. Obviously, you download Neofly. You have all that installed if you don't have Neofly. Neopad is an option. Brand the objects so you can have some custom objects. There's the guide there. There's also a guide here online, which is nice. You can read about it. Features, and so yeah, you go ahead and download that. And I've done already the banner, but I'm just going to show you what the process will be like using that add-on linker. some voices here, not lyrics, but voices. Wild Craze says, I was thinking of donating for the extra stuff, but I don't want to be in the Discord for it. You have to be in their Discord. I donated. I didn't need to go to the Discord. They send you a link that you can download it. One annoying thing is they limit the number of downloads. Sometimes I forget I want to whether I update it or not, so I download it again, so it goes down. But I don't think you need to be on the Discord. I think you can, after you donate, you can download the stuff from this link, Back Free Card Pro or something. Right, so basically then, okay, I'm in downloads. There's this, you would put this, you drag this folder, if you're not using that Microsoft add-ons linker, you would just drag it to your community folder. Or in my case, I would copy and put it in Microsoft add-ons folder where I keep the stuff. I'm keeping this in it, etc. because Neofly stuff. And you put it there, okay? And basically, I already have it there, so I'm not gonna actually do it. But basically, it comes with in the texture here. So I'm at Sim Objects, Airplanes, Bagolu 1C152 Neofly banner toe texture. Then you have the whole airplane there. Okay, and one of the things you have is the flag, albedo.png. Okay, that's the thing you're pulling, I believe. And then you open up Photopeia. You go here. You don't have Photoshop, you just use this. And you drag and drop this file called flag_albd, which stands for albedo.png.bds in here. And I think that's the flag. And here you go. The default one is we always find a way. And you edit that as you see fit. And you go to File, Export as, more DDS, okay? DDS is the format you want. And once we've done that, I'm gonna show you the one that I edited already. Your banner should appear, whatever you wrote on it should appear in the game. Here's the one that I have. When you donate to Neofly, they give you a custom banner too, but I just like making my own. So I put it here. Here's mine. That's how I wrote that universal basic income there. And there's a transparency here to this background. There's a bit of transparency there so you can see through the banner. Like in the real life banners, you can kind of see through them as well a little bit. Obviously, you can only read it from one side. You wouldn't write the same thing on the other side because it's you'd have to pull something that's too heavy for the airplane to be able to take off and fly with it. And that's it. And after you do that, you would come back here to the root of the Bagolu C152 Neofly banner toe donators, and this file called layout.json. If you are a masochist and you want to edit that manually, you can. You would come in here and you would I don't think it's necessary for you to put the exact size, but if you were putting some custom stuff there and you didn't want to override the other stuff, you would want to come and edit this. But since we're not a masochist, we use a utility that someone else made. And this was my previous stream, and this utility is called Microsoft Flight Simulator Layout Generator, right? Is this thing here. And as Wildcraze kindly pointed out of a Windows power tip, you can configure Windows in such a way, and you can read about it over here on. If you want a detailed description of how to do this, you just go there, and you would basically install this little utility that basically will write this layout JSON file for you. And after you follow the instructions that painting pizzas on airplanes, that link I just put, you just right click, send to Microsoft Layout Generator, and it will update this file the correct size of the objects, because you know when you edit a graphics file, if you put a lot of different information there, it will change the size. I don't know if the size really matters, but you know, I like to try to stay. The computers get confused very easily if you miss a comma there or something else over there, so I like to just keep it correct for these things. And that's how I got that banner working. Then when you go into Microsoft Flight Simulator, you as we saw earlier in the stream, we specifically select that airplane, the Neofly banner Bagolu, which is I guess the name of the person that created Neofly banner to either the regular or the donate. The donators is a skin. That's how you do that. All right, now let's get back. I want to do a test now, okay? I wanted to show this quickly, but let's go back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I want to do a, not gonna, we're running out of time here. I'm not gonna actually paint, actually, I paint that propeller now. And Walker says, making me want to put stuff on my webpage instead of everything else. Yeah, that's, I'm a huge proponent of having your own website, your own identity on the internet, and learning a little HTML, CSS just to keep this hypertext going so that, you know, it's not just Google and Facebook and Apple and Amazon that own the whole internet. It's nice to have a little bit of an independent internet. You can go to indieweb.org. I think that's the link. Let's check that. And there's some reasons why it's good to keep an independent web going. It's the same reason that it's good to have independent music. You know, it's a very good reason. It's the same reason why it's good to not just have one religion, but have a bunch of different ones, or one theory of why airplanes fly, and not or more than one, not just one. You know, it's good to have more than one answer to things, because that's kind of how the universe works. There's more than one answer. And the more independent websites out there, the better. So I encourage you to, if you want to learn some HTML and CSS, I wrote a while back. This is my this is my personal website. Web design, where to begin? Is that how I call that thing? And it still applies. This I wrote this like 9 years ago, but it still applies. Some of those links may have died, but the advice, I would still say the same thing to people today. You know, it's not about the technology, it's about your voice and just starting and showing up. Okay, so yeah, let's stop the painting now. All right, and I want to test something. This let's start Microsoft Flight Simulator again. I want to test something in Neofly. I was getting confused about how do I get a float plane in Neofly. All right, and someone in the Neofly forum said you can just pick the C-172. I want a default float plane, either the C-172 or the Cub floater. And someone in the Neofly forums told me that you just pick it. You pick a C-172 or an X or a Cub, an X Cub, and you'll be able to just use the float plane, and Neofly will recognize it as it won't care if it's a float or not. So I want to see if that's true. That means we're gonna take another loan here, people, to buy a plane. We're gonna find reading about IndieWeb, trying to determine what it is. Yeah, it's you know, not a lot of people. It's very few people who even care about that stuff these days. Everyone just uses Facebook, and you know, granted, Facebook basically made it very easy for people to just create a page by clicking on their website. But the problem is then the information is there. You know, we don't know what's gonna happen with it. So I continue as a old school web user. I continue to try to CMS. Yeah, pretty much a content management system. It depends on the context, you know. In the context of technology, of web technology, a content management system is something like often WordPress or stuff. But if you look at it in the bigger picture, a content management system can be, how do you want to, you know, we're all gonna die one day. What do you want to leave behind, if anything, for other people to find? And the stuff I leave behind, I don't want it to be in Facebook's site, or, you know, some of it, of course, I have an account and stuff, but I want my footprint to be an independent one, if possible. It's a losing battle, I can tell you that, but someone's got to keep fighting. Okay, so this is the test I want to do. We don't have much money, so we're going to take another loan, you know, even though we are $320,000 in debt with an interest rate of 6%. You know, I know Jimmy Boss is pretty well known. The banks will give him more loans, so we're going to take another loan, and we're going to try to buy a, let's go for the Cessna. Cessna Skyhawk, okay, there's a couple for sale here at Ian Fleming International Airport in Jamaica here, Mike Kilo Bravo Sierra. Let's do okay, updating the title of the stream. Cessna, yeah, let's try this. I want to try the Cessna floater. Oh, now I forgot about, oh, I'm sorry, Icebird. Are you referring to that I said I was going to erase that Cessna logo? I forgot about that, but that's gonna, I'm running out of time here and I want to try this, so that's gonna have to be tomorrow, and we're gonna try to change that Cessna logo inside the airplane to something else, or maybe later today, but probably tomorrow because I had to Stromovic's gonna happen in the afternoon. Wildcrate says I currently use flat file system Grav, which lets me edit pages in Markdown. Cool. I haven't heard of Grav, but I use this thing called Hugo, and it's also I edit pages in Markdown. It's a Hugo static generator. That's how I publish my websites. There's a bunch of them. There's Pelican. Hugo's written in Go, which makes it very fast. I have a sites of a lot of pages, you know, and I used to use the one that GitHub Pages is built in Jkill. That's written in Ruby. Very nice if you don't, but if you have lots of files, it gets slow. Then I went to something else. I forgot, maybe Pelican, which is written in Python, and then I went to Go, to Hugo, which is written in Go, so super fast. I don't like the programming language very much. It's just so weird, but it's very fast, so that's one reason. No worry, no hurry. Copy, Iceberg, thank you. And Iceberg uses CMS Simple. Okay, haven't heard of that one, but sounds good. Sounds simple. It's good. Walker says I'm having a giggle at CMS Simple sponsors. All right, what is that? I guess I could take a quick look. CMS Simple, open source CMS node database. Casino top 5 bingo sites, West Palm Beach personal injury lawyer. Wow. All right. What is? I guess these people use that, you know. But yeah, that's pretty funny. What is Forsacrio? I don't understand this language, but is that Finnish or something? Anyway, okay, that's a new one. The one I use is this. If we're gonna talk about web technology, Hugo static. I like it. The Go programming language, it takes a bit of getting used to. I have really weird syntax, all right? Especially the way they do dates. Look at that. Is the website down? Website seems to be down, which is weird, but it's this one here. Insurance in some random language copy. Small, easy, and good to adopt it for your needs. Cool. Yeah, there's loads of options. Another good one that I've used in the past is Pelican. A static web generator, and basically all this stuff does is really, you can write HTML, CSS, you write your stuff by hand, and you put in a folder, and then all this stuff does is it looks at that folder and it generates a website with the folder structure that you can just drag and drop to a web server to serve your website. Okay, this is another one. If you go to GitHub Pages, you have Jkill. There's a bunch of, there's like 5 million of these, but and more coming all the time. But I like Hugo. That's what I've been using for a while now. All right, so what I want to try to do here is I want to purchase a Cessna Skyhawk. All right, and then I want to see if by purchasing just the default Cessna Skyhawk here, just a Cessna Skyhawk in Neofly, whether it will allow me to come here in Microsoft Flight Simulator and use the text and aviation Cessna 172 Skyhawk, and it'll recognize a Neofly. But we have to be careful here, because I don't actually have just the default Skyhawk, because, you know, furtively Microsoft didn't, I don't know if furtively is the right word, but annoyingly Microsoft, I understand the reason they did it, okay, but if you want to fly a Cessna Skyhawk with just the gauges without the Garmin digital screen, you have to pay for the Deluxe or the Premium Deluxe. It doesn't come with the default version. So I suspect that the Cessna Skyhawk here is the Premium Deluxe one, because it doesn't say G1000 next to it. I think the one we want, since I don't have the Deluxe, I only have the G1000 one, okay? Both for Skyhawk and for the other floater, which is the default floor, is the X Cub. Okay, so let's try to find we'll find the first one we find, okay? The X Cub or the C-172 G1000. So let's look for another airport. Why not just select a float in Microsoft Flight Simulator and start a job with Cessna and Neofly? Then it asks you if you want to change the name. That's a good idea. Let's try it. All right. Let's try it. That's a good idea from Icebird. So, but the thing is, I only have a Cessna 152, and it's the 172 that's the oh, it'll give us the name, basically, you're saying? All right, let's do it. Okay, let's try. Let's start something here with we are at what? Mike Kilo Bravo Sierra. That's what's good of having smart people in chat. They give you ideas. We all learn together here. Okay, let's just put that we're gonna start here in ramp 18. I picked a Texture Aviation Cessna 172. I'm just gonna click on fly so the airplane appears there, and so that the connection between Microsoft Flight Simulator and Neofly will see that there's an airplane there that we're logged in with. And then we're gonna pick a mission and we're gonna say Cessna, and then it's gonna say, no, that's the wrong airplane. This is the one that you say this is the one that is actually there, and then we'll know which one it is. All right. Sounds like it should work. Let's try it. Yep, let's try it. Cessna Skyhawk and Neo should match anything with Cessna Skyhawk. So even if it's G1000 and it's not the one from the Deluxe or whatever. All right, here you go. I put the floater there. I really like this airplane. It's I might just have to get Microsoft Flight Simulator Deluxe just to get the one of the gauges. You know, Garmin, it's too much. And it doesn't run as well either. The Garmin, the glass cockpits make everything they learn slower. Gain like frames per second. All right, for my computer at least. Okay, so I'm there now. Let's go to Neofly. Let's just pick any random mission here. Let's take I don't know, a cargo mission. I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna go fly, and I'm gonna say that I'm on a 152, and I'm gonna connect and fly. It's gonna give me an error. Yeah, there you go. The Microsoft Flight Simulator plane name doesn't match your current Neofly plane name. Do you want to change your current Neofly plane name from Cessna 152 to Cessna Skyhawk G1000 Floaters Asobo? So it has the floaters there. That's what's confusing to me, because I have not been able to find. But that's because it's reading it from Microsoft, okay? But in Neofly, someone told me that you don't have to look for floaters. You can just get the Skyhawk G1000. So let's try that now. All right. S-Cub of floats is broken, larger turning radius than the large Hadron Collider, for real? That's interesting. All right, well, I'll stick with the Cessna then. It wasn't in a Cessna Skyhawk, yeah. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're going, and there's someone else, no, that's me, okay. What we're gonna do, I'm just gonna click end mission, okay. We're in this airport, and then below here, if you go in the top left in the missions tab, below the search box, there's the aircraft market. This is where we see the airplanes we want to get. And here there's Cessna Skyhawks, but there's no Cessna Skyhawk G1000, which is the one that I want to try. Let's go to another airport. Let's go. Is this an airstrip? No, that's the gaming lounge. Look at that. We have a mission to the gaming lounge. Treasure Hunt Gaming Lounge, but give me like 3 minutes. I'll be right back. Oops, that's what I was talking about earlier. I just pour coffee over everything myself. All right. So let's look for a Cessna 172 Skyhawk G1000 here, okay? That's what we're Neofly flights in Jamaica, attempting to get a float plane and fly a mission. Give the stream title there. Right, what we're trying to do now. So there's a Cessna Skyhawk here at Ian Fleming International Airport, but there's not a Cessna Skyhawk G1000, which is the one we want. So let's go around to some other airports. Let's see this one here. I'm gonna click on this airport. I'm gonna right click here. I'm gonna go airport search missions. So it shows the missions here, and it also shows the aircraft market here. There's a Stearman there that I added. There's a Britain Norman Islander there that we already have. There's an X-Cub, but according to Walkers, the turn radius is has some issues, so we're looking for the Cessna. So no Cessna G1000 there. Let's look. Let's go to the airport in Montego Bay. That there's an airport here, but it's not giving me an icon. What? Let's change our small trip and see if it'll give us an icon there. Yeah, it's not showing. Neofly is not showing me an airport in Montego Bay for some reason. That is odd. Let's try it by stand by. Why didn't you just say yes? Because no is the better option. Yes, we'll lock it to that specific version in library. We want it to be just Cessna Skyhawk so you can swap between versions. Yeah, you can change stuff, but I don't want to go and have to edit the database and stuff. I want it to, you know, just work. So I just don't want to edit the database. I know it's a SQLite database. It won't be too difficult to edit, but I just want it to just work. And yeah, even in IRL. Right, let's just forget about Montego Bay now. I'll take a look. I'll try to find the airport code for that in a bit. Let's oh hell, let's look at it now. Montego Bay Airport ICAO. MBJ? No. Donald Sangster International Airport. Mike Kilo Juliet Sierra. Okay, let's input that up here. Mike Kilo Juliet Sierra search. Boom, okay, then it gave us the thing. No missions there for some reason. And there we go. Yes! Let me put a little magic twinkle here for this to indicate a successful finding of this Cessna Skyhawk G1000 over there. Let's go over there. So I'm gonna set pilot position to can we just buy it for 400,000 bucks? We're gonna have to take a loan, okay? Let's just go over there. Set pilot positions to Mike Kilo Juliet Sierra. Pay. We're paying $501 to get flown over there or get beamed over. We've been beamed over by Scotty. Scotty, beam us to Montego Bay. Now we're in Montego Bay. And now we're gonna take a loan. Here we go. There's a 5. I love this, you know, it's so nice to have video games. You can just take loans without having to worry. A $523,000 loan. Right click, execute loan. Thank you very much. We now have $575,000. And here in Montego Bay, we can right click on this Cessna Skyhawk G1000. And we can go buy. Boom, you brought a brand new Cessna Skyhawk G1000. We're gonna go to the hangar and we'll give it a name. Any suggestion from chat what we should name this, the tail number for this, the tail number of this airplane should be? I wouldn't get the G1000 one. The other one is less specific and matches more. But I don't... I'm thinking that if I got the other one, it would want the Microsoft Flight Simulator Deluxe one, which I don't have. That's the reason I'm going with the G1000. I mean, and this is just an experiment. I'm gonna sell this afterwards, probably anyway. When I start flying a floater plane, it might actually not be one of the default ones. I might get the Bird Dog or that new one, the Husky. I haven't decided yet which one's gonna be my main float plane, but it might be the Cessna too. So if and when I do get Microsoft Deluxe Flight Simulator Deluxe version that gives you the one without the G1000, then I'll switch it over. This one is now locked to G1000. It would work for, so it would work for both. Are you sure about that? Let's see. There's a Sky. Oh no. Oh, there's a wait. Skyhawk. Okay, that's cheaper. All right, let's do this then. Let's just right click. Let's see if you're right. Wildcards. Let's experiment. I'm gonna sell this. I just bought it, so I'm gonna lose $5,000. That's fine. Now I have $571,000. Like, sorry guys, I wanted this. I wanted the regular Skyhawk. So I'm gonna right click. It's less money because it doesn't have those avionics in it. $275,000. I'm gonna buy that. I bought a brand new Cessna. Okay. And let's just give a random tail number to this thing. Let me go back to Bossa. All right, I'm just gonna call this aeroplane Banana, because eventually we're gonna paint bananas on the floats. Okay, Banana. Validate the tail number. Tail number changed to Banana. We are here at Mike Kilo Juliet Sierra. I'm gonna change the stream title so people don't get confused if you want to join us here. And this is the big test here, okay? I'm gonna go into Microsoft Flight Simulator. We have to switch, we have to get back to the main menu because we moved over to Montego Bay. Whoa. Again? No. Oh, I know what's going on. I don't have a random selected here on my playlist. Try to get some different music over here. Montego Bay. Will it just recognize it if I type Montego Bay? Montego Bay. There you go. Sangster. Mike Kilo Juliet Sierra. That's the one. Let's just put ourselves in a parking slot. A big ramp over here. Put ourselves in 50. And I am picking the Texture and Aviation Cessna 172 Skyhawk, the G1000, because I don't have the Deluxe. And now we're gonna find out if Neofly will accept this plane, this floater plane, even though we have just Skyhawk with no floater word on it, under it, with no G1000 written on it. Icebird, oh yeah, why insurance? There are good loans out there. I know that is true. Neofly doesn't seem to care, so I haven't run into problems with finding funding in Neofly. Maybe you have to play the survival mode for that. Oh, look at these guys, they're ready to dance here. Coordinated walk. They're too cool. The ghostly Spitfire that stands on that levitates the back wheel there. All right. So here's the moment of truth. Let's see if this works. All right, I'm just gonna pick. Let's see. Let's do a small little bush trip. Let's see what's close by here. There's a very short flight to land and a small little airstrip there by Anchovy to Mount Horeb Road. That's I like that. So the name of the road is it's where it's going to. It's anchovies to taking anchovies to Mount Horeb. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna right click on this mission here, and I'm gonna go fly with friends in case someone wants to fly. I'm actually gonna fly this one by myself because This is just a test, and if it doesn't work, we're gonna have to back out of it, okay? Okay, here it goes. Aircraft Cessna Skyhawk G1000 floaters Asobo. Here's the moment of truth. Let me check the... Oh, and I forgot insurance. Before, can I start the insurance? Right click. Start insurance. All right, now it's insured. Thanks, Iceberg. All right. Mission, flying, connect and fly. Here it is. Iceberg says they were serving in the army, and Wildcard says I drink to it, but my bottle is empty. Okay. Remember in Nana Insurance. And oh, thanks Wildcard as well. Okay. All right, here we go. Connect and fly. Wildcard is right, I think. It didn't give me any errors. So if that is the case, all you have to do is you get a Cessna 172, and it'll let you fly a floater, it'll let you fly a ski, it'll let you fly the Garmin, one of the Garmin, or let you fly the one, the Deluxe without the Garmin. So that is awesome. Payload currently 340, we need 443. This is a cargo mission. Awesome, thank you. Yeah, weight not enough just yet. We need 443, I believe, 443, so no passenger. Let's put some cargo. Let's give ourselves a few more pounds. Huh? We're eating all this deer and all this seafood and all this other stuff here. Let's give ourselves 200 pounds, getting a little heavier. And 443, so 243. That'll give us 443, and dispatch should talk to us soon. Oh, look at that tail go back because I put all that cargo in the back.
Transporter
And here
for
she
dispatch.
comes.
I see you asked for a fragile cargo mission. The ground crew is waiting to carefully load the crates for you in the parking.
Less specific is more. I like that. What's in
Transporter
Neofly
from
must
dispatch.
match
Loading
beginning of
sensitive
Sim 1.
cargo.
Copy
Please
that.
stand
So basically, as long as it says the words that, if you wanted to match the plane you have, whatever it is, when you if you want to add a custom plane, and you want to use any livery you want, and you want to Neofly to use it without giving you trouble, the only thing you really have to do is in the name of your airplane here, when you add it, the first words, it has to match
Transporter. Loading is
what's
complete.
in the
Let's go.
database of Microsoft Flight Simulator. So as long as you have Cessna Skyhawk there, it doesn't matter if afterwards it has G1000, if it has G1000 floaters, if it has nothing. As long as you have Cessna Skyhawk, it should work. I think that's right. Right. Awesome. Okay, cargo is loaded. We just have to turn the motor on. We're gonna take off. It's only 8 nautical miles. We're gonna land, and then we're gonna run the outro and go for lunch in IRL. Less is more, less specific is more. Yeah. Thank you very much, Wildcard and Iceberg, for helping me out here with this. If you're here and you haven't done so already, people, please go and give these two gentlemen a follow. Trying to get Iceberg to 50 follows so that move him up to the affiliate situation. I think you also have to have a certain average, I forget, of views, but we'll get there. Alright, gonna take off, basically fly straight south. We'll just we'll just do this IFR, VFR, visual flight rules. We're gonna just follow the coast here. There's this little 3 islands. We're gonna look at the one that's closest to the small one that's further south, and by that island we're gonna try to spot this road, Vogue to Wales Pond Road, and we're gonna just follow that road all the way down here where it turns into Anchovy to Mount Oreb Road, and we'll keep an eye open for an airstrip. Should be pretty close, but that's my off-the-cuff flight plan there. I think Simtookit Pro is on. I haven't forgotten. Valkyries has 1 win there. I apologize for the ones that didn't work before. I haven't flown this plane before, really, so I mean, it's a Cessna. I should be able to figure it out, right? Let's see. We do the checklist. Let's do the checklist since I've never flown it before. Let's run the checklist here. A pre-flight inspection. Okay, aircraft documents. Wow. On water, landing gear. Okay, we're on the ground right now, so landing gear, parking brake is set. There's the parking brake. Okay, that's set. So I'll check that. Tick item. Pick item. Okay, what's that? Ignition. Right there it is. Off. Okay, this is all the checks. I don't really have to do all those, but let's go ahead. Okay, that's off. Avionics switch. There's 2 buses, 1 and 2. Off. Yep, it's off. Master switch on. Okay. Here it comes. We'll take it off. Primary flight display. Okay, that turned on. Nice. Fuel quantity indicators, check. Where's the fuel? There they are. Okay, we're about half tank. No, about 3/4 of a tank. That's fine. More than enough. Low fuel left and low fuel right. Annunciator off. Where is that? Okay, do I have to turn them off? Check that the low fuel indicators mentioned are not displayed. I don't think they are displayed, so check. Oil pressure. Okay, those are on. Yep. Low vacuum sealer on. Yep. Apollo's coming to visit here. Like, what's time? It's time for your lunch, so I can get a little piece of whatever you eat. Okay, Apollo, hang on. Avionics switch bus. Okay, now we turn these on. All right. Take that. Forward avionics fan. Check fan is heard. I hear like a little fan, okay? Because this stuff gets hot. The avionics, you know, especially if you're in a place like Jamaica, it's gonna get hot out here. So I hear a fan, so I'm gonna take that. Avionics switch bus off. So now they want to turn it off. Okay. All right. Tick. Bus 2. Oh, just the bus 2 on. Okay. Tick. Avionics fan is heard. Okay, these are just tests to see if both are working or not, the fans. I assume it is. I can't hear it that well. Now turn it off. Tick. Little heat on, check if it's working. Alright. Stand by, Apollo. Turn it off. Check. Low volts annunciator. What is that? Oh, it's this thing. Check on, yep. Master switch battery out. That's off. Pick item. Elevator trim, takeoff position. By moving and see. Yep, takeoff. Wow, a lot of stuff, huh? Fuel selector, both. Right, left. Oh, there's both. Alright, check. Static pressure outsource valve off. Pull on. Okay, so pushed is off, I guess. So off, check. And that's our before starting engine. Now start engine. Pre-flight inspection is complete. I'll say that I walked around the airplane. I didn't see any dents and stuff. Seatbelts adjust and lock. I don't think you can do that. It models putting the seatbelt, so I just pretend that I click the seatbelt in. Holler. Okay, come say hi to the stream. I'll be right there, animal. Brakes, test and set. Or was it? No, this is the parking brake. Okay, it's this thing. Alright, check. Circuit breakers all pushed. Okay, these, yeah, they're all in. All tick. Electric equipment is off. Yeah. Avionics switch bus are both off. Yes, fuel selector both I already checked. We'll check again. Off. Turn off fuel valve. Open. Let's do that one. Fuel shut pull off. Okay, that's a fuel shut off valve open. Okay. Pull is off, so I guess pushed is open. That's a little confusing. I'll tick that. Start engine. Here we go. Throttle 1/4 inch. Here we go. Idle cutoff. Full lean. That's off, I think. Don't understand if I think it's this idle cut. No, I think it's this. All right, check. Battery switch. Test hold for 20 seconds. Calma, Apollo. Stay calm, cat. I'll be there soon. Alright, seems to be working. Release it. Standby battery switch. Arm verify the power comes on. I like the font. It looks like MS-DOS coming in. Probably, maybe it is MS-DOS that runs this arm. And yep. Game on. Engine indicating system check parameters. Where's that? It's like here. Okay, this is the Garmin stuff. I prefer gauges, but okay. Our oil pressure is low. I'll just say that I tick that. Check 24 volts minimum. Yep, there it is. 24.4, so we're good. M-bus volts. 1.5 volts or less. We're at 0. Okay, so that's fine. Verify discharge. -5, so the battery is discharging. Yep. Standard battery initiator check on. Yep. Propeller area clear. Charlie, clear the prop. Tick. Master switch out battery and battery on. There we go. Tick. Beacon on. Tick. Mixture rich. Pull it all the way in. Check. Push it all the way in. Auxiliary fuel pump on, 3 to 5 seconds, then off. Okay, where is that? Oh, not that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. Check. Mixture lean. Yep, we're... Okay, now lean. Okay. Tick. On ground, feet ready to brake. Okay, I'm ready to brake here on my button. Alright, check. Ignition start. Alright, here we go. Wait. Alright. Here we go. Oh, what happened? Rich when engine starts. Okay, let's try it again. Start and fuel rich. Alright, engine is on. Very quiet inside the airplane. Alright. Same thing as the P-51. Believe it or not, what the P-51, you put the ignition and the P-47 as well. You're holding with one hand, you're pressing the ignition. And with the other hand, you move the mix. Once the engine catches, then you put the mixture to run. Alright, tick item. Just the cool thing about learning to fly these airplanes, these simulators, it sort of gives you an appreciation for how the things actually work. Okay, and read more about engines. This is a wonderful animation of that explains how a combustion 4-stroke engine works. I'll try to remember to put on the Discord or put on the stream in a bit. Alright, page complete. Alright, throttle adjust 1,000 RPM. It's a more complex aircraft than the 152 for sure. Okay, so throttle 1,000 RPM. Where's the RPM here? Oh, there it is. Okay, it's showing me. Okay, so it's about 1,000. We're more than 1,000. Okay, put it down to about 1,000 there. I'll just tick that. Oil pressure check over there. All right, we're getting close to the green over there. I'll tick the item. The amperes, M battery and S battery. I'm not sure. That one is master and the other one is secondary or something. Check verify charge zone. Okay, 24 volts there. You can click on the little icon and it shows you where to look. Right, I'll check that. Low volts and initiator check off. Yeah, that's off. All right. Tick. Avionics switch bus 1 and bus 2 on. Alright. Both buses are now on. We had checked if the fans were working. Tick. Flaps up. Where's the flaps on this thing? Okay, they're up. Yep. Put them down just to see how it works. Down. Now they go up. Alright. Tick. Alright, and that's Now the taxi light is required. Let's go ahead and turn it on. I think the lights were to the left here. Taxi light on. Check landing light. Let's turn them on too. Strobe on. Turn on the strobes. Navigation lights on. Tick. We're on ground. We're not on water. Tomorrow we'll do flights and land on water. Park and brake. Release and test the brakes. Up front here, okay. Release parking brakes. Testing brakes. Yeah, they work. Alright. Tick. Rudder. Work. Look behind me too, I think I'll probably be able to see from. That's not good visibility, these airplanes. They have a window in the back and stuff. So hard to see with that thing, but there you go, it's working. It's back there, so I'll go tick. Alright. Most upright. Wow, look at all this stuff. Okay, we're just gonna go, okay? We're not gonna worry about this stuff. We're just gonna go now. Let's see if there's a tower here. I wanna finish this mission and go for lunch soon. Request taxi, depart straight out.
Sangster ground to Hypertext Hero 1 with Kilo request taxi for takeoff departing straight out. Hypertext Hero 1 taxi to and hold short of runway 7 using taxiway Alpha Cross runway 7. Contact tower on 118.75 when ready.
Right, acknowledge that, and we'll take a look at where runway 7 is.
7 using taxiway Alpha Cross runway
Not
7.
that one.
Hypertext Hero 1.
Where the wind is coming from, so it's going to be that side over there. Opposite side from runway 25. The wind is coming to the other side. Okay, so we're going to hold there. Taxi and hold short of runway 7 using taxiway A, which is going to be this one here, because it's the only taxiway I see, I think. Unless it's this little thing. Do they have a sign there? I don't see a sign. Oh, there you go, taxiway A. Yes! Alright. Let's go. First flight. Hey, My Simulated Reality. Welcome to My Simulated Reality. Good day to you. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for dropping by. The music's too loud. Just let me know. I'll turn it down. I'm gonna actually turn it down a little bit here. Let's first flight ever here in a Cessna 172 floater. All right. Went through the checklist. We're just gonna now try to fly it by the seat of our pants here. There's other stuff we can do on this side. But look at that. Brand new airplane. Total hours in the Hobbs meter. Okay, it has like what? 8 hours total? Is that 1/10 or like not even? That like I'm not sure what that 1/10 there means. That's like 8 minutes. Is that the minutes? If you can make that thing turn on, you're better than I did. Hey, the only way I managed to turn it on is well, I have some experience of 152. I probably would have been able to guess what to do, but look, the cool thing about Microsoft Flight Simulator is there's this thing up here called checklists, and it takes you through the whole thing. All right, see, for example, here we could go, you can, you go and you tick, and that's how you learn, okay? Flight instruments, and here we can click on this thing and it'll show you where to look. Altimeter, set barometric patch, all this stuff. Okay, I'm not gonna do it now because I'm just gonna, I need to finish this mission. That's tenths, yep. So 8/10 of an hour, I guess. So almost an hour we've been playing, I guess. Been a while. Okay, let's undo parking brake off. Oh no, not parking brake is off. Now the parking brake is off. Let's go. Very quiet inside. Oh, now the parking brake is on. Now it's off. Oh! Almost hit the wing on that thing there. And it's kind of odd to fly these float planes because you think they're floats, but they're on land, you know? But look, they have these little wheels. Look at those little wheels they have there. Pretty awesome. Have these little wheels that you can put down to land on the ground, and you can put them up to land on the water. So cool. So the little digit is counting 6 minutes. I don't know. Guess we'll find out. I don't know. I don't know what that 1/10 there means. Yo, ground handling. How ground handling is really bad is what I meant. Okay, on this plane, yeah, it's not as good as without the floats. That's for sure. I can tell it takes much. It doesn't turn very sharply. It looks like a toy airplane with the floats on the ground here. But I like this airplane. I really need to get. I wish I could just get the one airplane I want instead of having to buy a bunch. I just want the 172 without the Garmin, just of the gauges. I want to. Is that possible, or do I have to buy the deluxe Microsoft Flight Sim of all the other airplanes and airports? Alright, there's some vehicles here. They're like, don't come here. We're waiting for we're waiting for Roger. No, poor Roger Moore died. We're waiting for Pierce Brosnan. He's coming for a visit, but he didn't want to land at Ian Fleming Airport. He came to he prefers Montego Bay, so they're waiting on a car right by the runway. What's the ooh? What's this? What's up with these taxiways? Those little lights on the taxiway. Was that the edge? I think the edge is up here. Oh look, there's an Islander there. See, I have that airplane. That's one of my favorite airplanes, but it's nice to get on a floater. My first flight in a floater with in Neofly. My first flight in a Neofly mission with a floater airplane. Challenge, landed on the water mountain at 1HU1, I think it is. Alright, I'll look that up. 1 Hotel Unicorn 1, copy that. Probably, that's a challenge, it's probably difficult, okay? We'll look, before I quit, we'll look on the stream where it is. Alright, okay, let's talk to the tower. Just short flight here.
Sangster Tower, Hypertext Hero 1 ready for straight out departure at runway 7.
Oh, you're a streamer? Cool.
Hypertext Hero 1 altimeter 29.85, wind 0,
Wait,
6,
oh, I think, did I raid you before?
departure approved.
Sorry if I forgot.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 7.
But I believe I'm, oh yeah, I think, yeah, the other day, of course. Okay, cool. Awesome, thanks so much for dropping by. Yeah, you're like a software engineer who works for an air company, right?
Hypertext Hero 1, please acknowledge.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 7, Hypertext Hero 1.
Awesome. Oh, my pleasure, man. Yeah, good luck. It's fun. I've learned a lot from streaming. You know, it takes a bit of getting used to. But I've made a lot of friends, including Wild Craze here. Yeah, people, go give this gentleman a follow. My Simulated Reality. We have quite a few software people here. Wild Craze is one. No, computer people here. We have Icebird. We have Sheep. We have Kerr. We have a bunch of nice people here in the stream. Galaxia Cat. Then people drop by once in a while. We have Elias here from Jamaica where we're flying. Okay, we're off. Let's go. Geeks are drawn to sims. Oh yeah, I love simulators. My first flight simulator was Falcon, Spectrum Holobytes Falcon. The first game I ever played that had a plane in it was this, well, the spaceship was Defender in the Atari 2600. The first game of a plane was River Raid in Atari 2600. What's the rotate speed on this? Like, probably around now? Hey, we're up.
Have a nice flight. Keep
You're
the
up.
cargo secure.
Oh, watch out. Stay inside. Do I have to turn this thing on to the right? That one is not on. It's a pretty heavy airplane. It was much heavier than the Cessna. Where's the gear lever? Let's see if it gives me the checklist up here. Where's the runway? Okay, calm. Oh, I didn't do any of this stuff. Okay. I'm just doing the seat of my pants right now. Water rudder's up, mixture rich, 55 knots was rotation.
Gears up for water landing.
Okay.
Gears up for water landing.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
I'm just gonna press G.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Okay, there's the landing gear. Should be okay. Here we go.
Don't sink.
Gears up for water landing.
There we go. The gear is up now.
Gears up for water landing.
Not for water landing, but just for
Gears
our
up for water landing.
high performance. Is almost so much drag. I can see that. It's really a lot of drag, huh? From this big things. How do I turn off this gears up for? I think it's here. Gear advisory. Oh, that's the gear right here. Here we go. Landing gears. It gets there. All right.
500.
Wow. But yeah, very heavy on the ailerons, this thing. Wow. The gear up for auto rally announcer has an annoying button on the gear handle, kills it. Copy that. So that's the gear handle and that's the button. So let's just take a look from the outside view. If I push this, those things come down. A little late going to the outside view. Now if I push it up, it retracts. Nice. All right. I probably should have locked those little rudders, right? I'm rushing a little bit here because I'm getting hungry and it's lunchtime. In the afternoon, I'm going to go back to the fighter airplanes, World War II fighter airplanes, IL-2 Sturmovik. I have 18,330 kilometers on my bike since spring 2018. On your bikes, on your a bicycle in your house, right? Iceberg, or you mean like in general bike? That's a lot of kilometers, dude. You must have some strong legs. My simulated reality says water rudders between the seats. Took me a while to find that. All right. Oh, here we go. Thank you. What does that do? Does it lifts the rudder off or locks it? Like a tail wheel locks it? Still seem to be moving. Maybe it doesn't move as much when it's locked. It puts it. Oh, it lowers it. Okay. Wait. All right, got it. Now it's lowered. And now it's raised. Got it. I'm gonna raise it to land on. If I was my flight plane, I want to raise it obviously to land on the ground. Yeah, a little bumpy here, the frame rate. Okay, there's that little island that I was looking for, and here's I want to follow this road. I think. A little confused about that. The little island is not showing here, Microsoft Flight Simulator, so. But we're just gonna find, I think it's this road over here that we wanted to follow. We're gonna follow it up until we see this other little airstrip, which is only like 8 nautical miles away, and then we're gonna land. To be honest, it doesn't steer very well up or down, okay? Yeah, I heard I tried, when it just came out, the new update, I tried some water landings by the Statue of Liberty in New York City, and it was, yeah, it doesn't really do much on the ground. You have to put a bit of power to the engine to get a bit of a, to get that rudder to do anything, but even then it was very very little authority in the water. Didn't have enough authority to say, plane, turn your nose right, point right or point left. I think it's gonna be one of the, maybe this road over here. Let's take a quick look at Neofly, see how where we are over there. Okay, oh, no, it was that road back there. I was right. Okay. It's a bit of a cheat. I didn't do a flight plan or anything. I probably should have done that. But brand new to the airplane. This was a test to see if I can get the floater to be recognized by Neofly. And it can, so good news. We are going to be flying float plane missions here. Walker says landing of it down sounds to me like it could break the... Yeah. Going to sneak out and put on chicken. Awesome. Thanks, Walkers. I'm gonna land here and then I'm gonna take a break for lunch too. I2 stream is gonna be delayed a bit. It's gonna be probably a half hour because I'm a bit delayed in this one. All right, Tower.
Sangster Tower, Hypertext Hero 1 frequency change.
Out from the outside.
500.
I mean, it is a bit of like a very like flying, riding a wild, a restless boar in the sky a little bit. And maybe a boar is even a too fast animal, like maybe a restless cow. But I kind of like the feel of it. I just wish it wasn't these garments here. I like the gauges. I'm gonna have to get that. I'm gonna have to give Microsoft what, $80 for the deluxe. Thank you for the prediction, Walkrays. If you want to predict my landing rate here, this is how you do it.
500.
There are prizes every 3 months. Give away some sort of video game or something. Walkrays is the first winner.
500.
You may choose a different one from the one I give him. That's fine.
500.
But I don't know if this will be my first float plane in for my Neofly careers. I'm thinking about the Husky. I'm thinking about the Bird Dog from Black Box Simulations. Same people that make the Islander. The Husky has my eye. Thank you, Simulated Reality. And thank you, Iceberg. All right. And that's it right there. I think that's the landing strip. Okay, let's put the gear down. Rudders are up. There's the back one coming down. There it is. Whoa, careful here. All right, let's take a look around. All right. I don't know what how much space this thing needs to land. I'm used to the BN2. I'm used to the Cessna 152, so I don't even know if there's a windsock down there. I don't think so. Let's do a little flyby and take a look around. I mean, the wind was out in the sea. I mean, it can change here. Out in the sea, the wind was coming from the other direction, so let's just try that. And spot a windsock down there, so. A siren in that song? Okay. Very loud from the outside, this engine, louder than the 152, and we have to work on the sound levels when we go to the outside view as well. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna put flaps full down. The landing gear is already down. Be a short turn. There's no tower here, I would imagine, so I'm not even gonna radio in. I could try to radio in just for Mafuta airstrip, select runway, and it's a 24, I think. No, actually, no, go back, it's 6.
Mike Kilo Alpha November traffic hypertext Hero 11 miles southwest 1.
My first landing or crash in the 172 floater. Here we go.
500.
A little bit of turbulence. Swoop in, try to miss the tree of the left wing.
Transporter from dispatch.
Iceberg!
So we can check the cargo status.
Not too bad.
Gears down for
Ooh.
runway landing.
Ups up.
Gears down for runway landing.
Yes, we do have our gear down, I hope. Alright. No problem, insurance for your plane. A little muddy that area there, but no, that looks alright. Let's go park. Park her over here. Thank you, my simulator reality. And thanks so much for dropping by. Thanks for your guests. Very nice of you to stop by here. I appreciate it very much. I'm not gonna worry about checklists here. I'm just gonna do this right now because I have to
Transport from
go
dispatch.
for lunch.
Someone is coming to take the cargo. I'll call you when it's done.
Alright. Oh, we have to wait till cargo to unload, okay. Alright. And in case you're not familiar with this, I'm using this thing called Neofly for this mission. So it's really nice. It gives Microsoft Simulator a little sense of progression. Yeah.
Transporter. Another cargo mission completed. Thanks, and see you soon.
Copy that, dispatch. Have a good rest of your day. And you all, have a good rest of your day. Oh, I forgot to put that back shortly, turn that back shortly thing off. Apologize for that. And this is a little bit. I will be back a little late this afternoon because I'm a little late now. Maybe I'll make it at 2, but it'll probably go like 2:30. Or some World War II airplane amateur instruction on my part. I have not tried to fly FS economy. If it's something that you have to pay monthly, I'm not really interested because I have enough stuff that I pay monthly for, but that's why I like Neofly. Neofly is actually free, but you can donate to get some perks. But I'm pretty invested in Neofly, but I haven't tried the. I know there's other stuff out there, and I have heard of that one. I haven't tried that one. Sounds good, Iceberg. Thanks so much, and congrats again on that 3rd place. Hope you enjoy IO2. Thanks to Wild Craze, thanks to Iceberg, thanks to Sheepa, thanks to My Simulator Reality dropping by, and for the follow as well. Thanks for Psycho XOX for the follow earlier, and everyone else who dropped by. Elias, Zero to Hero, Alec, and anyone else that I may be missing. I apologize if so. It is a pleasure to have you here to share in this these odd hobbies of flying digital airplanes together. Let's go raid someone before I go, and we'll be back a little later. Who's out here? Whoa, who's this? Fire Zima. My first crowd. Look at the size of that. Look at all that stuff. Who else? Any generator? Calf Beck. That's a General Aviation. Let's go say Calf Beck. I haven't seen. I don't think I've rated this person before. Peace out. Lots of love to you all. See you again soon. Have a wonderful rest of your. It's Wednesday, I think, right? Wednesday or Thursday if you're in Australia or something. Peace out. Buongiorno. All right, cat. Time for lunch.